Faith invites and encourages all who are seeking a community to empower, support, and explore deeper understanding of spirituality and recovery of all kinds. We join together with our family and loved ones in our journey to enlightenment and recovery, and supporting one another spiritually without judgment or prejudice.
Good afternoon. My name is Judy G., and I'd like to welcome you to A Place of Faith. Today, our spiritual principle is spiritual healing. And now, if you will join me for prayer. Higher power, we welcome you to this place and to this time. We ask that you bless us as we listen to the teaching on spiritual healing and learn from it. And so it is. And now I'd like to introduce you to Jody B. as he plays music and sings for us.
Come out of sadness from wherever you've been. Come broken-hearted, let rescue begin. Come find your mercy, oh people, come near. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal. So lay down your burdens, lay down your shame. All who are broken, lift up your face. Oh, wanderer, come home. Too far. So lay down your hurt, lay down your heart, and come as you are. There's hope for the hopeless and all those who've strayed. Come sit at the table, come taste the grace. There's rest for the weary and rest that endures. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't cure. So lay down your burdens, lay down your shame. All who are broken, lift up your face. Oh, wanderer, come home. You're not too far. So lay down your hurt, lay down your heart, and come as you are. Come as you are. As you are, so lay down your burdens and lay down your shame. All who are broken, lift up your face. Oh, wanderer, come home. Too far. So lay down your hurt, lay down your heart, and come as you are. There's joy for the morning. Oh, people, be still. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal.
Thank you. That was beautiful. My name is Becky R., and I am here with the concepts to contemplate on spiritual healing. Our first thought for today is healing. It doesn't have to look magical or pretty. Real healing is hard, exhausting, and draining. Let yourself go through it. Don't try to paint it as anything other than what it is. Be there for yourself with no judgment. The Swahili says, you can heal what you don't, you can't heal what you don't reveal. And that's what we're talking about today, right? Maya Angelou, there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. She was a beautiful spirit. And if you never heal from what hurt you, then you'll bleed on the people who did not cut you. That's always hard because we still carry it around inside us. Rose Kennedy said something was very interesting. It has been said, time heals all wounds. I do not agree. The wounds remain, and in time, the mind, protecting its sanity, covers them with scar tissue, and the pain lessens. But it is never gone. Healing doesn't mean the damage never existed. It means the damage no longer controls our lives. And from Gloria Steinem, the final stage of healing is using what happened to you to help other people. That is healing in and of itself. I'd like to ask Linda B. to come and give us the principles in action.
Thank you. I am Linda B., and it is my privilege to share with you the principle of spiritual healing in action. Although I feel like Jody kind of stole my show with this song, he really illustrated for me what that principle is, what it is to heal spiritually. First, I needed to lay down my anger and my hurt, and in doing that, I mean my attachment to it. I could use all kinds of drama as a story to get people to take care of me and to have pity on me and not expect too much from me because, all that bad stuff. And for me, laying that down meant letting go of my attachment to it, not letting what was done to me to be who I had become. It was literally reinventing myself, and in doing so, with God, through God, I was healed spiritually. The song Jody sang said, "There's nothing on earth that heaven can't heal," and that's so much my truth. By letting go of all of my anger, all of my resentments, all of my little stories, my victimhood, and standing in my truth, my being as God, as beloved by God, as an expression of the goodness of God, is the way I would share this principle in action. Thank you for letting me share.
You've got to swim for your life. Swim for the music that saves you when you're not so sure you'll survive. You gotta swim, swim when it hurts. The whole world is watching. You haven't come this far to fall off the earth. The currents will pull you away from your love. Just keep your head above. I found a tidal wave begging to tear down the dawn. Memories like bullets, they fired at me from a gun. A crack in the armor, and I swim to brighter days despite the absence of sun. Choking on salt water, I'm not giving in. I swear. You gotta swim through nights that won't end. Swim for your families, your lovers and sisters and brothers and friends. You gotta swim through wars without cause. Swim for the lost politicians who don't see their greed as a flaw. The currents will pull us away from your love. Just keep your head above. I found a tidal wave begging to tear down the dawn. Memories like bullets, they fired at me from a gun, cracking me open now. I swim for brighter days despite the absence of sun. Choking on salt water, I'm not giving in. No, I'm not giving in. I swear. I swear. You gotta swim, swim in the dark. There's no shame in drifting. Feel the tide shifting and wait for the spark. You gotta swim, don't let yourself sink. Just find the horizon, I promise you it's not as far as you think. The currents will drag us away from your love. Just keep your head above. Just keep your head above. Swim. Just keep your head above. Swim. Just keep your head above. Swim.
Loving family. join me for this moment of quiet meditation and prayer. Spiritual healing, something that works within all of us. Spiritual healing. You can't put a Band-Aid on it. You have to look at what is inside. What is holding us back from receiving and rejoicing in our higher power's love that is there for us to latch on to. Please inhale a deep, calming, nurturing, loving, warm breath. Expand your lungs. Invite the utmost love and energy within. Exhale love, calmness, peace, and joy. Connect with all the energy around us. Let go of the hurt, of the energy that no longer serves you as a loving reflection of your higher power. Spiritual healing is an ongoing loving, nurturing item of our inner being. Remember, we are true manifestation of God's love and an expression of His love. Embrace this. Allow yourself to know that you are a wonderful, deserving being. Take in another breath. Feel the calmness and peacefulness surround you. Feel the joy of knowing that you are perfect. Your journey this far has created this wonderful being that you are. And we are grateful for you. Sit with this thought. Listen to the music. allow yourself to say, I'm good. I'm perfect. I'm okay. When you're ready, take in another deep, cleansing breath. Feel this perfect entity that you are just bursting from within. Stretch out your arms and legs. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. Smile, because you are. That's it. You are. Open your eyes. Embrace the wonderful energy around you. Send this wonderful energy out into the universe, praying that all this energy touches, people, plants, animals, will also feel perfect, because that is who we are. Have a wonderful week. Be blessed. You are perfect. And we are grateful.
Thank you, Jody and Patricia. Let's pray. Father, Mother God, we thank you for bringing us here today. We thank you for the people watching and for this beautiful day outside, and for the words that you will bring to us and through us, and the message that we received for our community out there to know that they are not alone. Amen. That was a wonderful meditation. Now we've got you centered, right? If you're centered, you're in a good place. I want to talk to you. I want to have a conversation. I'm always super excited when I show up here. And I'm not sure that our excitement shows up to you guys, because I don't know how well excitement passes through the airwaves. So I want you to know that the team that puts this together is amazing and exciting, and we are pumped full of energy because we know that our healing can make a difference in your lives, and you can make a difference in someone else's. So today I want to talk, and I'm going to bring up a little bit of tough stuff. So revealing stuff's okay. Just want you to know if I choke up a little bit, just bear with me, okay? We have to reveal it to heal it. It's just part of the whole thing. It's a big job. Maybe not as big as we think, right? It could be a tough job. Maybe it's not always as tough as we think. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. I am a recovering alcoholic addict, but spit it out. My kids never saw me drunk. I have 2 children. They're hardly children anymore. They're grown. They never saw me high. I was a weekend partier. I made sure they had a sitter. I made sure she was paid. I made sure everything was done somewhere else. So this way I was controlling it, right? I never did any needles, just used straws and drank pills and liquor. And on the outside, people never saw, except for the people, of course, in the bars. The school never saw, my neighbors never saw, my babysitter never saw this other person. At least I thought they didn't see it, right? But how could I actually be who I thought I was? I thought I was portraying this average person, single mom, raising 2 kids in the 80s and 90s, and I thought I had this big picture all planned out. But it wasn't like that. Looking from the outside, I thought people didn't know my pain, but I'm not so sure there weren't clues. I see it in other people. Maybe those that have the scars could see the scars. But it looked like I was a model citizen because I did what I needed to do. I'm a master at keeping it in. I'm a master at stuffing it down. I learned this before I was 3 years old. You don't say anything, you don't do anything out of line, because if you do, you cross that line, you're in trouble. I was a master at this skill by 5. I could stand there and tell a lie because I knew I wasn't going to get a spanking if I was convincing enough, right? Because I stuffed it down and I didn't cry. Don't cry. My dad would hold a mirror up to our face if we cried. He'd be like, "You see that big crybaby?" You know? I mean, really, you weren't allowed to do it. So what did I do? I was numbing. I numbed all the time. I numbed the abuse of my childhood, the trauma, the neglect, and the abandonment. I numbed it any way I could. I topped it like ice cream with whatever would make the pain stop. And I had anger issues. And with the anger, though, I was a little selective about who I would take it on. It was usually my siblings. And I never picked on the littler ones. I didn't have a problem punking up to the big ones. Because I had an older brother that got a lot of it when I got mad. Now, I love my kids, but I was hardly the perfect mother, and they know it. By the time they were teenagers, they were going to meetings with me. Because at the time, you could take your kids and put them in the corner and they would do whatever while you were in a meeting. I mean, I don't know why we thought this was okay, but we could take them with us if we didn't have a sitter. So I was a functioning drunk cocaine user for a mom. And I'm not proud of this at all. I'm only sharing this with you because I think it's important for you to know that was then and this is healing. I had to go through all of that, and I had to stop numbing in order to reveal what was going on. I had to learn to feel again, because unfortunately for us human beings, feelings, you can't single out one feeling. I can't just single out pain. If I cut off feelings, I cut them all off. You know, and I'm a very feeling and empathic person, so I was spending so much time and energy trying to not feel that I wasn't me, and I was just numbing. So let's reveal it to heal it. This statement started out, feel it to heal it, and thank you, Linda, for changing it to talking me about reveal it, because revealing is so much more than just feeling it. Revealing is we're going to uncover all those things, and you don't open a box and everything flies out. And you know, maybe if you could do that, maybe it'd be faster. I'm not really sure. I can only say from my perspective and the people that I know that some of it comes out, and then later some more of it comes out. And so once you start opening it up, it'll start coming out, right? And you go a little deeper. Revealing is a deeper word. It's uncovering. It's the secrets. It's the long-lost issues that have been buried below the surface. So see, these things happen to me. Well, in order to reveal it, I had to stop numbing. And, I mean, I had started numbing. I started smoking cigarettes when I was 11 years old. I was smoking in the house by the time I was 15, and my parents let me because they said they couldn't stop me. And I was drinking at 13 and smoking pot. So by the time I got to in my 20s being this model mother, all the pain that had happened was so long before. So why was I still numbing it now? I didn't have any coping mechanisms, there we go, if I can speak, to understand how to let it go. I didn't have anybody in my life that said or modeled, hey, you need to heal that so you can get through with your life, right? So all this stuffing and holding in was not coping. I was a victim, true, of the things that happened to me as a child. But at 25 through 36, I was doing it to myself. They were no longer doing it to me. So why was I staying there? All that had happened 15 years before. Contributed to what was going on. But I have to be the one to heal myself. And I have to be able to heal regardless of those people out there that I love, that I knew I was going to lose, and I lost a lot of them in the process of healing. Currently, I'm the only one in my family that's sober and is willing to look at the things. Everybody else still wants to hide from them, I had to open the doors and let this monster out. I thought I was the monster. I really did. Because I had numbed for so long, I didn't know what was going on, and I thought it was me. And I had to look at this crap through the eyes, and I had to take the steps. And you guys know the steps we're talking about, right? But we're going to look at them a little bit differently today. Step 1, and if I say step 1, usually everybody in their mind can repeat it. If they've been to more than 10 meetings, they can start repeating those words on there, right? But what it boils down to is getting honest. Getting honest. After so many years of denial, recovery can begin with one simple admission. One simple thing, getting honest, right? So the main underlying principle is that it's just accepting what's going on. I accept that I can't do this. I just know I can't. So walking these steps, taking that first one, saying, what, I know I need help. I have to admit that this is me. And then number 2 was faith. Step 2 is about faith. It's about being with a higher power and beginning to operate from a different perspective. I believe that I can heal through this. And the underlying principle for faith is hope. Because there's a hope, there's a chance. There was a chance that I might get better. Seeing these women, going there and seeing some of these women that had 30 plus years and thinking, wow, look at their lives. They do what they want. They're living their dream. Maybe if I keep trying, that can be me. So I kept coming back. Step number 3 is about surrender. You have to surrender, right? It's a lifetime of self-will had not helped me. A lifetime of stuffing it. Because all the pain had stopped already, I was still re-injuring myself. I was holding on to it. So surrendering it, laying it down, like Linda said earlier, lay it out there. And the underlying principle for that is faith. It's going to be okay. And number 4, the step is soul searching. You're making that inventory, right? Soul searching. Where is my part? Ooh, that one, the first time I did it stung. Because I had a lot of shame. I had a lot of shame attached to it. And talking to somebody made me very vulnerable. And when you put shame and vulnerability in the same room, it's hard. It is very difficult. I follow Brene Brown, and she's a shame researcher. And being vulnerable about your shame is, to me, one of the hardest things I've ever done. It works, though, because here I am, right? So I was soul searching and figuring out what it is down deep that my part, and take that step. And step 5 is integrity, being honest. The underlying principle is honesty. When we are in our integrity, we are honest. And it probably is one of the most difficult steps. And I can tell you that it's worth it. And it's probably one of the hardest ones to maintain. When I fall out of it, I know it because I'm angry and I'm hurt and I become ashamed again. I fall back into shame because I realize that I haven't stuck in my integrity. And step 6 is acceptance. The key to step 6 is acceptance. Accepting what was our defeat, our defects. You know what? We're not perfect. Nobody around here is. We all have our own, what do they call it, baggage behind us, right? And with acceptance, we have to have willingness. We have to be willing to accept that these things that this is what's going on. Number 7, humility. And the underlying principle is also humility, right? The spiritual focus on step is humility, asking a higher power to do something that cannot be done by self-will. That's hard to believe. We think we're put here with all this power, we can do these things ourselves, and there's just some things we can't. Healing is one of them. Getting it out there and healing it is definitely one of them. Step 8, willingness. We have to make a list of those we've harmed, right? And we have to be willing to take responsibility. We have to have responsibility with this. That's the underlying principle. We are willing to be responsible for our part. And it may be planting the seed with them. They'll find healing too. We don't know what gifts we're giving out. We know these are gifts for us. Step 9 is forgiveness, right? Making amends. And that underlying principle is love. It's kind of funny that love is under forgiveness. When I was doing the research on this, I was just like, it's love. But it is love. That's why I've been thinking of love so much this past week. It is love. And being able to give that love. And step 10 is maintenance. Let's keep it up. Just pay attention to what we're doing in our lives. Like I said, when I fall out of integrity, I fall back into shame. So we have to keep that maintenance. That's a discipline. Discipline's always had a really bad era about it for me, because discipline came in my life a different way. But discipline to me now is making sure that when I get up, I do A, B, C. Doesn't mean I have to beat myself to do it. It just means following those principles along the line. Being disciplined to take the next step. When that step's done, take the next one. And number 11, making contact. The purpose of this step is discover God's plan. And it's awareness and growth. The underlying principle is awareness and growth. Where are we going with this? And then, of course, 12 is what we're doing right here, right? Service. We're being of service. And this is how it works. And the underlying principle on that one is also service. So in revealing and healing from the psychology today, they say that this is how you do it, okay? Everybody does it different. So I took their stuff and I'm going to implant something here. Is everybody is versatile and we all have our own thing. First thing we need to do is ground it. We need to feel it on our body. Sometimes you have to do this with a therapist next to you. I'm telling you that. This is a disclaimer, okay? Some of these things need a therapist. They really do. So if you feel that that's necessary, please get one, because your mental health is very important to us. Okay? But grounding it in your body, feeling what's going on. Where is it in my body? The next step is to recall it, sitting down going, okay, there was something happened and that, it generated this, and then I don't know what that was. And thinking about the situation that you've been upset about. I get flashbacks. I don't know about you guys, but I do. I have flashbacks. And I'll be driving and I'm having a good day and all of a sudden, boop, a picture will fly in my eye. And I'm like, what was that for? It's like something fired inside my brain to try to correct my happiness or something. I'm like, oh, no, I dealt with that. If there's something big, you need to come back later. We'll talk about it, right? So you need to recall it and sense it. Where inside your body is it? Name it. Give it a name. Until we talk about what's going on, it's going to stay buried. It did for me, and it did for a lot of people that I know. We have to be able to talk about it. We have to give it a name. Okay? And then, here's a fun one. We get to love it. Love it for what it gave us. Love it for the gifts that were left behind. You know, I sat down a long time ago and wrote letters to parents that don't even exist now and said, these are the gifts that you gave me. And my childhood was tough, guys, but you know what? There are gifts. My mom helped make me a strong woman. She taught me to not wait for someone else to do it, to just get out there and do it. Get it done. Let's go. You know, to me, that's an important thing. So I do have gifts from this. And I can love those gifts and let the rest go. So if you can love it and hold it and take the gifts that it gave you, you can feel it and experience it. Say, yes, this is what it was. Yes, this is how it happened. Then you can receive the message of wisdom that it has for you. It's coming up for a reason. Let's get it up. Let's get it out. Talk about it. Talk to your sponsor. Talk to your peers. Everybody that's, even if they don't have an answer, which they don't have anybody else's answer, but even if they sit in silence, saying it out loud makes a difference. You can heal it by sharing it. Share it with others. That's why one of the steps is to share with another person, because this is how we heal it and get through it. And then the best one of all is we get to let it go. We don't have to carry that rock. I don't know if I think I probably said this one before, but I went to a meeting in 98 or 99, and there was this old timer there, and he said, I see you youngsters come in here all the time, and you got this bag of rocks, and you carry it, and you bring it in, and you set it down. And then you sit here through the meeting, and you reach in your bag, and you pick out a rock, and you talk about your rock, and blah, 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 blah. And then you put it back inside your bag, and when the meeting's over, you get up, you pick up your bag of rocks, and you walk out. He said, why are you taking your rocks with you? Leave them here. This is where we're talking about them, right? Leave them where they're at. You can there are rooms to talk about it. I know the rooms are different now, but there are still ways to talk about this. There are many ways to heal. Find your way to heal. Open it up and let it go. Love it and let it go. Because I'm telling you that there's not a person in this room helping right now that doesn't love doing this for you. They're excited about it. They love it. They want to connect with you because we have all been through it. One day at a time, we've all been there. So I want you to remember the process of healing emotional wounds can feel uncomfortable at first, but I promise you it's rewarding. It's a rewarding journey. The energy we'll currently spend on holding all this in will be released. And the space inside ourselves it took up will be filled with all kinds of new stuff. And we don't have to carry those rocks, right? And we can fill this with more positive energy and help build us a life. And I'll tell you what you're learning today, you're going to be teaching to someone else 10 years from now in your recovery. Okay. So I have this one last thing to say, and it's something I found on the internet, and I just felt so connected to it. And it says, and then it happens. One day you wake up, and you're in the place. You're in the place where everything feels right. Your heart is calm. Your soul is lit. Your thoughts are positive, and your vision is clear. You're at peace with where you've been, at peace with what you've been through, and at peace with where you're headed. Let's pray. Higher power, we thank you. We thank you for being here with us, and we thank you for everybody out there. We hope that they know that we're sending them energy and love, and that we're committed to being here for them. They are precious. They are not alone. They need to know. We need to know. Nobody is alone. We're together. We thank you for this. Amen.
A lot of us grew up believing at any moment we could lose it all. And at the drop of a hat, God might turn his back and move on. A lot of us feel like we blew it, thinking that we're just too far gone. But I want you to know that there's still a hope for you now. And no matter what love. Nothing can change it. You're not separated, no matter what. There's never been a better time to get honest. There's never been a better time to get clean. So come as you are, run to the light and be free. Oh, be free. 'Cause no matter what you've done, you can't erase His love. And nothing can change it. You're not separated, no matter where you run. He's always holding on. You're still a daughter, you're still a son, no matter what. You're still a daughter, you're still a son, no matter what.
Thank you, Jody. And as we bring this session to a close, thank you to everyone who participated and to you for attending. Thank you, thank you. And now, with the closing prayer, the prayer of St. Francis. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is dying that we are born to eternal life. Thank you, and have a wonderful week.
Being in recovery means being of service. Locally, the Salvation Army is looking for food donations. The San Diego Blood Bank is looking for donations, and the McAllister Thrift Store is also looking for donations of any kind. You don't know what you want to do or volunteer? Look at volunteermatch.com.
Join us in spreading our message of recovery. Send your donations to Unity Church of El Cajon, 311 Highland Avenue, El Cajon, California, 92020. Be sure to put in the memo, it's for a place of faith. You can donate online as well at unityofelcajon.org. There's a donate button. It's safe and secure.
We want to work with your organization. We have speakers with decades of experience. We do workshops, speaking engagements, spiritual mentoring, lessons, and more. Give us an email at aplaceoffaith@sohomail.com.
Stay connected and updated. We're on Facebook and YouTube. Like, share, comment, and subscribe.